Coming up, MLK celebration events took place around the country today. We'll share how Martin Luther King was celebrated locally in Acadiana. And AMERICORPS here in Lafayette are helping those affected by the August floods. Details straight ahead. Plus, one Louisiana high school has been chosen to perform in the 58th annual presidential inauguration. That story's just minutes away.
Live and local, you're watching Acadiana's KLAF News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Danielle Grossman. Thank you for choosing Acadiana's KLAF News at 6 tonight. Adam Hooper has the evening off. All right, this just in, tragedy on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. A kid is dead after a Martin Luther King Day parade in Abbeville. The parade rolled around 11:30 this morning on MLK Drive. According to Lieutenant David Hardy, the child was hit during the parade and brought to the hospital. The child later died. At this time, no charges have been filed and the identity of the child has not been released. For updates on this story, you can head over to our website, that's KLAF.com. Well, today, thousands of people around the country spent this holiday honoring Martin Luther King through activism and community service. Here in Lafayette, dozens gathered at the Martin Luther King Center for a day of service and celebration. Many different organizations volunteered a variety of free services, including volunteer voter registration, free legal advice, and free health screenings. All right, well, this year marks the 32nd year the Martin Luther King Holiday Committee organized that very event. And there were tons of services offered for local residents at the Martin Luther King Center. The ladies of Iota Tau Sigma Sigma Gamma Rho provided services to help find bone marrow matches for 2 Louisiana residents. Organizers say even with the millions of people currently on the registry, finding a match is still extremely difficult. To find out more on how you can be a match, visit our website. Again, that's KLAF.com. President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama celebrated MLK Day by participating in service projects at a local Washington, D.C. family shelter. The President and First Lady started by painting the Wall of Hope mural, a mural featuring Dr. King with residents of a Jobs Have Priority Naylor Road community. Next, the first family headed out onto the playground where they greeted children from the community. President Obama even joined in on the fun by pushing children on the swing set. The playset was donated by the first family from the White House grounds. On the day Martin Luther King Jr. is honored and just 4 days until inauguration, President-elect Donald Trump continues to butt heads with civil rights icon Georgia Representative John Lewis, prompting more Democratic congressmen to boycott Friday's swearing-in ceremony. Kristen Holmes has a report from Washington.
Americans around the country are celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. and advancements in civil rights today.
Activism has to be an everyday choice that you make.
Vice President-elect Pence visiting the MLK Memorial in Washington. But as the inauguration looms, political and race relations remain uneasy, fueled by the president-elect's feud with civil rights icon Representative John Lewis over the weekend. The two apparently avoiding the spat today. Lewis, who helped organize the 1963 March on Washington with King, speaking at the MLK Scholarship Breakfast.
Stay away from violence. Never hate.
And Donald Trump, after tweeting people should celebrate King and, quote, honor him for being the great man he was, met with Martin Luther King III, who didn't take sides in the controversy.
Things get said on both sides in the heat of emotion. And at some point, this nation, we've got to move forward.
The back and forth started with comments Lewis made on NBC's Meet the Press about the Russian hacks during the presidential campaign.
I don't see this president-elect as a legitimate president.
And saying that he wouldn't attend the inauguration. Trump responding on one of his favorite platforms, Twitter, writing Lewis is all talk, 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 no action or results. Sad. Meanwhile, the number of Democratic members of Congress boycotting Donald Trump's inauguration is now more than 24. In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes.
And that's where KLAF's Troy Thornton is live with a look at what we can expect at this event at the MLK Center here in Lafayette. Not much time left to attend. Toy, how's the turnout out there?
Danielle, the festivities continue tonight, and of course, what better place for them to continue than right here at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center here in Lafayette. Now, if you take a look behind me, they are gathering and getting ready for the commemorative program. You can see plenty of people here. There is a choir, there is a band, and certainly gearing up for a celebratory performance. It's set to take place in just a few minutes here, set to start. Now, the theme tonight is living the dream, uplifting ourselves through faith. And we talked to the president. He says his goal is to allow the people of Lafayette to remember the dream that Dr. Martin Luther King had that day. Now, of course, the speaker here tonight is Dr. Logan C. Hampton, the president of Lane College in Jackson, Tennessee. And for more information on that, for the full story of this tonight, you want to tune into Fox 15 News at 9, which is our sister station, of course, Acadiana's KLAF News at 10. That's all for now. We're live here at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Lafayette. Toy Thornton, Acadiana's KLAF News. Back to you guys.
All right, moving into our crime watch. It starts in St. Landry Parish. Deputies are looking for a person suspected of armed robbery. The theft happened at a truck stop on Highway 167 around 11:30 last Thursday. Deputies say the suspect robbed the business at gunpoint, got away with a small amount of cash. Anyone with information on this crime should call 948-TIPS. Lafayette police still need your help with solving a Friday morning shooting. Officers found a 27-year-old man with gunshot injuries in a parking lot in the 2000 block of Moss Street. The victim was treated at an area for non-life-threatening injuries. If you have information on this shooting, please call Crime Stoppers. That number is 232-TIPS. The Calcasieu Parish Sheriff is investigating an attempted armed robbery at Highway 90 Express store in DeQuincy. Around 10 Wednesday night, the suspect entered the store with a gun demanding cash. The clerk didn't comply, pulled out a bat, and chased that suspect out the door. Anyone with information about this attempted armed robbery is urged to call Crime Stoppers at 439-2222. Well, it's been 5 months since the August floods, if you can believe it, and some Lafayette residents are finally getting back into their homes thanks to 2 organizations. KLAF's Kristen Dre went to that very neighborhood. Kristen, who's helping these folks out?
Danielle, it's the Rebuilding Together AMERICORPS and the Louisiana AMERICORPS members. They're getting people back into their homes in Derby Heights after all hope was almost lost.
It really makes you see that you can come up from nothing and rebuild again.
A message Betty Sam wants to continue to spread, a message of encouragement.
Even though you're going through something tough, just hang in there. Just hang in there a little while longer, because God's going to pull you through.
Homes in the Derby Heights neighborhood saw more than a foot of water during the floods.
I prayed and I believed, and I knew help was coming.
Good. Betty Sam calls these volunteers living angels.
But by and large, we're here because we care to help people who are in a tough spot and need help getting out of it.
Each year during MLK Week, Rebuilding Together AMERICORPS members come together from across the country to serve a community in need.
We choose them because they need us.
Providing free repair services while homeowners still stay in the comfort of their home.
These homes are in great shape because they've been reconditioned to code. Electrical code, plumbing code, safety codes.
In some cases, giving the homes another 30 years of life. And for Betty Sam, those living angels are inspiring her to pay it forward.
It's going to help me be a better person. Help me help more.
A day full of many thank yous, gratefulness, and love.
If you really want to feel the love of service and the love coming back to you, this is the way to do it.
Betty Sam says throughout the flood and recovery, she never felt like she was a victim, but calls herself victorious because she was a survivor. Live in studio, Kristen Dre, Acadiana's KLAF News.
Thank you, Kristen. Each year, Rebuilding Together is nearly 100,000 volunteers. They complete about 10,000 rebuild projects across the nation. Pretty amazing. Repairs to US 90 and St. Mary Parish start tomorrow may cause some traffic delays. Be aware. According to DOTD, the US 90 overpass at the Franklin exit will be closed eastbound for surface repairs. Officials say it will last about a month, and work on the westbound lane will follow once they complete the eastbound lane. Traffic will be detoured to the US 90 exit and entrance ramps during the road work. Those waiting on IRS refunds may have to wait a few weeks. We'll tell you about the delay that's coming up. And heads up, Apple users, you may be getting a refund of your own. That story is just minutes away.
And the storm